Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. Hi, Dr. Powden. Hope everything's going well. This is just a really short video just to give you a glance at the Excel treatment login or sign-in sheet that I created. So as you can see, this is the 2019-2020 treatment sign-in. And I wanted the basics: date, name of the patient, grade, sport, body part injured, side, condition. And then I did 3 sections of treatment. And I made a list for everything. I haven't been going through, but I made a list. These are just the very basic treatments that I know that I do the most often when I've looked through other things, other records that I have. And so condition, I had my own long list of the most common things that I could think of in the high school setting. Side, body part injured, made a list for everything, including sports and grades. So I did 3 sections of treatment because I know often I do more than one treatment for a patient in a day, and then I end up having to make more than one entry. Like on line 2, I put their name and then everything, and then on line 3, I do the same thing just to switch a treatment. So this time I made 3 sections, so it would be more efficient for me. And then I could just total them at the bottom. Or actually, I'll total them in the summary sheet. Anyways, the numeric pain scale, of course, pick a number. And then I also included referred and birth date. And that's because I wanted to make this sheet versatile to like my own practice, but also to what Craig wants when we turn in our monthly stats. And one of the things that he counts are referrals. And so while I may not technically always have that in a treatment sign-in sheet, I decided to put it in this one so they can click yes, whether it was any of these doctors to Franciscan, Unity IU, or yes, other, or we'll leave blank if they didn't need referral or it doesn't apply to them. And then the birth date only will be placed in there if I choose to, or if specifically if they got referred, then I have to put in their birth date. That's something that Craig also has specified. So as you can see, I made this sheet pretty, it kind of combines the best of both worlds for what I want in my practice to collect quick data and what Craig will want. As you notice, I also put 2019, 2020. It would be really cool if I could just have this as a continuing sign-in sheet. Just one sheet signs in for the whole year, because then all my data will just be together. But what I may also do is split up this into monthly sheets. So August, September, October, blah, blah, blah. Because Craig, we do monthly stats. So we turn stats in at the end of each month. And it may just be easier to turn that in instead of going back in and separating everything out, unless I happen to remember to just turn it in on the exact last date of the month, which I don't always do. So I may split it up into months. It just depends on what works best. But for right now, I just want it to be continual running sign-in sheets so that the data just all stays together. The summary sheet, I wanted to specifically look at the amount of injuries or treatments needed for each sport, as well as how many counts of each condition. And obviously I may add in more conditions if necessary, but for the most part, these are what I see the most often. And these pretty much cover just about everything, I think, that I could think of, except maybe I missed a few gen med stuff, but if I need to add it in, I'll add it in later. And then I wanted to look at counts of treatments. And so basically my goal is to be able to break down each team and to look at each team specifically for the injuries and the type of injuries that they have, as well as the most common treatments for that team. So I've started to form prevention programs for different teams already, looking back at other data that I've collected. And It would just be nice to have even more data, neater data, because my stats that I do monthly are not, they do not look as pretty as this. Now that I realize that, I kind of kick myself in the butt for the way they look now. But obviously we live and we learn. So, but anyways, I really want to break things down with teams right now, just to be able to make, have better data in order to kind of put in more prevention programs. Or I also want to look at specifically the conditions with the treatments, and just see the number of conditions I have total. And for whatever, like say concussions, I want to see how many concussions that I have. And actually, I want to compare this year's number of concussions to last year's number, because I am incorporating something new with concussion testing. So just different things like that. That's why I chose the 3 most basic categories that I could count. And, you know, I probably may add things as I go, like sports, or I already did sports, like maybe grades if I really wanted to, but I may also go further into breakdown referrals and maybe the body part injured, just the general body part instead of the condition. So that's my goal with the summary sheet so far, and I can always add more if I want. And it does work. I tried it out multiple times after it took me probably felt like a million years to figure this out. A condition, I put in 1 concussion and it popped up with 1. So that'll be really cool that it counts in real time. And then this is just my list reference. So everything that I had to make a list for, I put here, and that's how I made my lists in this sign-in sheet by referring to this page right here. So all my lists that I made are referring and connecting to this list reference sheet. So super simple, neat, and organized, hopefully much better this year, and I'm excited to use this in my practice.